Welcome back once more, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our second game of the day for Starladder Season 10 EU coverage. What day are we up to, Blaze? Is this day 5? I've lost track already.
Stacks up pretty quickly, man. I don't know.
Oh, shucks. I think it's day 4. Anyway, we've got another good one coming up here. Cleave versus Team Secret. Now, this is exciting because Team Secret has only played one game, and it was that opening match against Alliance. They've had a few other scheduled matches in Starladder, but they've all been postponed. They've already used their 2 wild cards to reschedule, and now they're in the thick of it, and they've got to adhere to the schedule of their opponents. So we'll get to see Team Secret for the second time in competitive here, Blaze.
Yeah, the first game looked a little shaky. It looks like the Secret wasn't ready yet. They put a blanket over it. They figured some stuff out on the backside, and now they're coming out for their secondary debut. We're going to be seeing an interesting strat here, but not the one we saw their first time around. They will ban out the Wisp on behalf of Cleave, and that means Team Secret will have to show a second little trick here. We're going to see the Doom Mirana opener in response to the Razor, but the Skywrath will come across, and we're going to see standard meta from Cleave. Hopefully Puppy has another trick up his sleeve.
Yeah, both sides had pretty standard meta here. A good way to put it. We talked about Razor and Doom in the last match not making a showing, and here they are first picked as we would more expect on this patch. But analysis on this patch is soon to be expired, Blaze. We have techies coming out pretty soon here, and we still don't have patch notes, but I'm sure this meta will get thrown upside down. So this is, for those of you out there that are tired of Razor and Doom, you need to appreciate it, because you never know who's going to be beat upside the head with the Nerf stick come this next patch.
The countdown has begun, 6 or 7 days, and we'll be seeing something brand new. I'm excited about it. I love pouring over those patch notes and trying to theory craft the new ideal combo. A lot of them have come true. There's only a couple that I still think could work, but we haven't really seen it. So maybe next patch. But for now, we're seeing the ban out of the Viper, ban out of the Tinker, taking those solo mid options off the board. Previously, we were seeing actually Karaki actually running the solo mid role, so that was pretty interesting to see. And I'm curious if they're going to be diversifying that a little bit. They ran him on the Tiny previously, and yeah, he could play a full arsenal of various heroes.
Yes, indeed. Team Secret will think about this 4th ban a little bit, and they settle on the Tidehunter. No big surprise there. Both teams with pretty open-ended drafts to get things started. Skywrath and Razor can both be a little flexible in their lanes, as can Doom and Mirana. So both sides, I think, having a little bit of trouble reading exactly where these drafts are going to go.
Yeah, and it's of course almost impossible to know what's in the head of Puppy, especially after having only seen one draft through. And essentially with that initial ban, you've cleaned that slate off, because whatever you learned from the first one doesn't apply here. They're not going to be picking up Storm Spirit, perhaps not Clockwork, because it just doesn't go with the initiation style they're looking for. So I believe it's going to be off-lane Doom played by S4, but you never know. You really don't. And in this position, you might see the Bane again to go with the Mirana, but that's as possible as really anything else. There's so many heroes to work well. I like the Shadow Demon pick to go with Mirana, because then you can also use defensive disruption against Mystic Flare. But no matter the case for now, they're going with the solo mid Puck.
Presumably, yeah. But you're right. This Team Secret, we still don't really know exactly how the roles will settle down. Last time we saw S4 in the off lane, it was Puppy and No Tail supporting. Who was mid? Was it Fly?
That was Kuro.
Kuro was mid, and then Fly was in the safe lane Storm Spirit, which completely backfired. Also important to note, Simba is Fly. For whatever reason, I don't know if that's a name change or what it is, but it is the same individual. Fly from Fnatic is how you'll recognize him. Puppy, of course, is drafting on Team Secret. Last time, I guess we didn't enunciate that, or Synderen and I didn't enunciate it clearly enough. Puppy is their drafter, folks. I'm going to say it again. Puppy is their drafter.
Yep, so obviously they're collaborating. S4 was the captain of Alliance for majority of the time there, so he's obviously got his own ideas, and they can kind of cross over some paths from Fnatic. That's kind of what we saw previously, is with the Wisp Tiny pickups, they kind of collaborated the idea of what Fnatic was really good at and brought that to the table for Team Secret. So we'll see if they have any other old school drafts. So I actually really liked to see what Fnatic did in things like the Captain's Draft Invitational and other kind of new meta type drafts where they were able to bring out different heroes. Like they actually ran, I think they're the only team that's run Medusa successfully in a high tier match. So that's saying something right there. But no matter the case, a lot of great minds coming together and not only mechanically skilled, but strategically trying to figure out what is the best pick here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nature's Prophet, third choice for Cleave. They'll find themselves a nice offlaner here. If they want to play more current with the meta, it will probably be a support Skywrath and then Razor in the mid, which means they need a support and a carry still. But it's Team Secret that are contemplating here. They're running out of reserve time, just about 5 seconds left, and they need some supports. They could always do a support Mirana and could always do a position 4 Doom who spent some time in the jungle, but here they pick up the Naga Siren, still rather ambiguous. I think it stands to reason it'll be a farming Naga, but could always be that support Naga. We talked about it the other day, and since she farms so frequently, it can catch opponents off guard if you throw her in that position 4 role.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that No Tail and Puppy were two support players that very frequently ran, or even in her prime, they kind of dodged around that. Like, if this was S4 drafting for EGM, I would actually say that it was a probable pickup here. But in this case, I think it is going to be the farming set, maybe 1 point in the snare to help with the arrows, but obviously we'll have to see. We also don't really know Fly My Schneckle's role set. Like, he ran the Storm as a safe lane carry, and he obviously has played, you know, Dota 2 for quite some time since Han, so he has enough versatility there, but I don't know. It's just transitioning from Storm Spirit to Naga Siren in of itself seems a little bit difficult as well.
It's a big jump. Well, I mean, it could be a mid Naga, but that's where I start to think that maybe it could be a support because they don't really have a classic, a player known for running the farming Naga. You know, there are certain players that are really known for it. Your Miracles, your Artors back in the day. And I'm not sure who would be best suited for that on Team Secret. Not to say they can't handle the Naga, but it is just a whole different beast in terms of finding that farm efficiency and moving the illusions around. There isn't really anyone that is quite the same as Naga, so you do need an experienced hand to do it efficiently.
Yeah, but it's a brave new world for them. They're trying a lot of new meta tactics, not just the meta game in general, but for the roles. Like, they've been trying to pioneer a lot of things already, and they obviously want to show that they're a different team than the ones they came from. They want to advance further, perform better, and just rise up the ranks there. So if this is their ticket forward, you got to assume that they have some plan in mind. You have to assume that they do have a penchant for using this hero to its optimum. As far as strategically, the only anti-synergy I can think of is like Razor likes to really commit everything when he goes into a fight. He goes static link out of the storm and he's ready to roll. If Naga sleeps then and kind of disengages, that can kind of frustrate him there. But
here's a good pick. Earthshaker works pretty well against heroes that make illusions. They count as hero units in the context of Echo Slam, so there is some potential counter there. And also we've seen Skywrath and Earthshaker paired together quite a bit, so it's a good pick on multiple fronts here for Cleave.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I do like the counter push potential of that and the way to deal with illusions, and they have to kind of respond to Team Secret's last pick with their follow through, because they actually, like you said, have a flexible lineup. They can run the Skywrath as a solo mid if they wish, and run the Razor as a farming carry, or they can just keep him as a support and pick up a new mid. So this gives them 2 full roles to respond to Team Secret's last pick, and obviously they're going to have a much better idea of what's coming through once they see Puppy's full draft. So right now, they're contemplating the last ban. They only have about 15 seconds left on the clock for that, and they're going to take out the Shadow Demon here. So, like I said, Shadow Demon, Bane, they're the ones that you're going to look towards for the Mirana combo, and taking that out makes a lot of sense.
Yep, I completely agree. I think you have to guess a little bit as to what Team Secret wanted to do if they want to support or carry the Naga, and Shadow Demon makes just as much sense as any. Team Secret ban out the Wraith King, an interesting choice, perhaps a hero they just don't like playing against. I guess he would have been okay for Cleave. I don't see a huge amount of synergy around that ban with what they have picked up already. They are lacking in stuns a little bit, so that is another stun that they could have brought out onto the field. But whoa, Team Secret, that's a Klink's 5th pick.
I like it. I don't fully see how it fits into everything, but I think that the Klink's meta of old still is prevalent, especially with the Searing Arrows buff, and there's a lot of potential there. So you are going to get your support Naga Siren, a la No Tail or Big Daddy No Tail, and it is going to be Karaki running the Klink's potentially in the mid, safe lane Doom, off lane Puck.
I feel like S4 Puck has to be mid, but I don't know. They're switching up. We'll see if they stick true to the roles we saw in our one game, or if they switch it up. It really is hard to say. With only one match worth of evidence, I feel like it's kind of a coin flip. Jakiro, old Jackie, the final choice for Cleave. What do you think about Jakiro right now, Blaze? You strike me as the type that's quite a fan of the twin-headed dragon.
I'd say a lot of potential if he's skilled properly, if you actually use him for his purpose, which is pushing down towers. He and Nature's Prophet can just absolutely obliterate every tier 1 within 10-15 minutes of the game. Like, there is a huge amount of potential there. And as well, they do have some great turtle potential. Him just maybe dropping down a Macropire to clear a wave, Earthshaker Fisher blocking the high ground steps to delay as well. There's a lot of potential for them to create time for Shaco to go and just rat away. But at the same time, they are a little bit limited in the sense that both these heroes would prefer somebody else to go first. They would prefer a Chronosphere or something else to kind of lay the groundwork for where they can really make their primary contributions. So I like him early game. Towards the mid and the late, I believe he falls off a little bit, but we'll see how it plays out as he actually picks up some core items here and they smoke on down bottom lane.
Yeah, certainly right. So maybe it will be a farming Jakiro here, but time will tell. They do a 5-hero smoke. The only one not with them is old Nature's Prophet. Hakan here on the Nature's Prophet sitting. I believe that's how you pronounce that in the native tongue. It doesn't make much sense to me, but I've been told it's pronounced like Hakan. But we'll see. What's Cleave up to here in the jungle? They put down an Observer, blocks this hard camp there. They'll press forward, and S4 gets smacked by Fissure, but ends up on the other side. Lucky for the Fairy Dragon, as he could have found himself in a bit of a sticky wicket there. But he will survive. They just put down the one ward for now, and Cleave will walk back to their side of the map. Radiant side did a little invade of their own. They get down an Observer in the high ground here, a common smoke area in the Dire jungle.
Yep, so they don't really get the control there. It would have been difficult to get that kill, honestly. With a Puck, he has the Orb Jaunt even at level 1, so you'd have to get the Ancient Seal Silence on him as well. And it's just a lot of things working together to try to net that first kill. In either case, we are going to see the lanes clear out a little bit here. Na'Vi was a lineup that did run a little bit of like the ancient jungling Mirana in a semi-supportive sense. But right now it's going to be smoking up the two supports, Mirana and Naga Siren, and they're going to be looking for the first blood in mid, with nobody lurking on the high ground to prevent this.
Yeah, it is a solo mid Jakiro for the Dire side. Naga will skill up net level 1, I'd assume. Yep, there it is. Arrow will fly through, connects to the Jakiro. S4 flies in on the Puck, and this should be a pretty easy first blood. Hasted Skywrath comes in. There's your dual breath coming out to slow him down. Orb actually misses. S4 gets hit, and now Puppy taking a lot of damage. The first blood goes the other way. It's drawn by the creeps, but Mirana falls, and it's Cleave that find the first kill of this game.
I have to say, what the hell, S4? He had the orb the whole time. He could have cast it point-blank range, target was stunned, whatever, but he saved until the last possible second for reasons that I can't fathom.
And then he whiffed it.
Yeah, he missed it. That's the big problem. If he hit it at 600 units away, whatever, but he completely missed because he held it so long, and that should have been a first blood absolutely in favor of Team Secret, and I guess he just really wanted the last hit, and that was a poor stroke of greed.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see how these other lanes have settled down. It is a safe lane Clinks, played by Kuroki, now shortened his name to KKY. He'll be up against the off-lane Razor, played by Roger, and Skywrath now rotating his way down bottom as well. We already saw Puppy on the Mirana. He was the one to take the tumble in the mid, and No Tail is on the support Naga, who has found level 2. S4's Puck using, whoa, daddy. All right, looks like we got a server split here. Hopefully everybody can reconnect. But S4 rocking his signature. Well, can't look at it now since he's DC.
Well, I'm out too.
Oh yeah, I'm still here. It's just me, and I guess I'm lucky. Oh no, I'm gone down.
Alone.
Okay, well that was fun. Let's see if we can reconnect here. Reconnect Areno.
The best feature in Dota 2, to be honest, because when you had a server split in Warcraft 3, you were screwed, especially when you didn't get the save off at the right time for a competitive match there. So
yes, indeed. Now, hopefully we can reconnect to this game, because this is one of those. It's still very early on, but we've seen some mischief. Puppy falls to the creeps, and if we had a remake, I think we'd have to do some sort of trickery to create a similar scenario. Because that is a rough way to get a game started. I am having trouble loading in here. I'm staring at my beautiful Dazzle loading screen, but to no avail here, Blaze.
Yep, nothing in the Starladder chat just yet either. So.
Oh boy. Well, Blaze, it might be time for one of those famed jokes of yours.
I have fame jokes. My jokes generally revolve around sarcasm of a particular situation. So I don't know if I could just come up with. I could go over to the dad jokes subreddit and pull up some of that nonsense. But
there really is a subreddit for everything. Yeah, I'm not. I failed my first attempt to reconnect here.
yeah, this does not look good.
This is a bummer. So when do the saves begin? Could we reload after that first blood came out?
It usually is minute based. They used to do it only every 5 minutes, but then they updated it and they made it so that was every 1 minute. But I don't know if that starts as early as the first minute into the game.
Yeah, that's the real question. How early does that first minute begin? We'll find out, I suppose. We'll wait for official word from the Starladder admins here, y'all. I see some question marks popping up in the chat, and we're going to try and get an official word.
Okay, here's a good one. Why does Luna hate Venomancer so much?
Because she's allergic to poison.
Because he keeps trying to poison Nova.
Oh, that's a really good one. I like it. Poor Nova. Oh, man. Well, that was a really good joke, Blaze. I like that. I think our servers were invaded by techies. Yeah, the theories have began. Damn it, techies.
There's so many jokes that I've heard like 100 times before to the point they're not very funny, but it's really hard to say who has and who hasn't heard these. I'm sure there's somebody.
With 30,000 people watching right now, Blaze, I have to imagine that there's at least a couple of them that haven't heard these jokes before.
Okay, my reconnect actually just succeeded, so
really, all right, let me try once more here. I've already failed twice, but I'll try another.
We've got 8 out of 10 of the players, so we're getting back into it.
Oh, okay.
But
it looks like they hosted they loaded one and hosted another game. So if someone gets stuck without being able to it looks like everyone can get back in. Okay. So 4 minutes in, everything looked the same. All right, we're in good shape here.
I guess maybe not. I mean, 4 minutes it's the same thing, but there's been a lot of like static gold given because time has just been passing without a automatic pause. So we might have to go for a reload. Because this was we definitely weren't 4 minutes into the game when we disconnected.
Yeah. And there definitely weren't this many people just hanging out in the well. So okay, Bank has rehosted a new lobby here. I am going to pull up a little overlay here. Yeah, there we go. So sorry, folks, you don't need to see all my secrets right now. Let's see if we can get into this new lobby. Does it have a new password? It seems like it does because I don't see a lobby.
Okay, new joke time. Who did Starladder send flowers to?
Crystal Maiden.
His Slytherin crush.
Oh, that's another good one. All right, well, I don't have the password to the new lobby, so we're just sitting here. Sorry, guys. Sorry, y'all. Good thing Blaze is here to keep us entertained with all these brilliant jokes.
I gotta prep. I got a kid coming in October. I gotta get the dad jokes rolling. So
yeah. I really hope that they make a new one because I've already left.
Yeah.
Are you still in the other game or did you leave as well?
No, I left it as well. It seemed like everybody was following suit. So
yeah, well, I saw a bunch of players leave, and I think most of the other casters left as well. We're all in the same boat here. So, guys, we're gonna have to just hang out. Patience is a virtue, as they say. Oh boy, what a fun day so far! All these curveballs. Let's see. Let's get some crabs going on. That always gets a rise out of them. Little crabbies. I still don't know why crabs. Of all of the weird animals they could have put in this production suite for us to pull out onto the screen, like why? Not only is there one set of crabs, but there's two. There's the baby crabs and the big crab. And is it a joke that I'm not privy to?
It might be a European joke, a Russian joke. I'm not too sure, but I've heard that they have some cultural references there, but I'm not privy to them.
Oh, do they have crabs in Russia? I guess crabs like it cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alaskan crabs and whatnot. Okay, we're back in the lobby, folks. So we're just waiting for all the players and casters to get back in here. It shouldn't be too much longer. I don't want to be that one guy that's showing the lobby. I don't have an appropriate overlay. So I guess I could cut back to the camera. Y'all could look at my pretty face while we wait. That's something. If Blaze was here, you could look at both of our pretty faces, but sorry. So Team Secret, Team Cleave. Let's see. Let's look at the bets actually. What are the odds here? Team Cleave are up 1-0. Today is the day of underdogs. It's a lot of one-sided games. Cleave 18%, 82% for Secret. This is one of those days where rares could be lost, Blaze.
Yep, but we also see some cool turnarounds. I was watching SCA, and there was actually a pretty close game between Johnny's Revenge and Mineski. And Mineski actually almost pulled through. They had a great early game, but in the end, Winter's Draft did triumph. So, yeah, there's it might be close calls at the very least, and I hope we do get some good games out of the remainder of today's content, but you never know.
I'm always hoping for good games, Blaze. Do you ever wake up and hope for bad games? Come on now. I'm just messing with you, man.
Bad games can be fun. I've cast SCA Dota so much. I can really take some enjoyment in the clowniest Dota you've ever seen, where it's just back and forth, like essentially 5v5, level 1 all mid that just doesn't stop. And I've actually seen games like that, and it is very entertaining indeed. But at the same time,
yeah,
high tier Dota, we might as well squeeze a little bit more out of this 6.81B.
Yeah, that's how I felt Korean Dota was. The first time I cast it, it was just this. They would start fighting the top lane, and then one person would TP in, then another person would TP in. It would be this weird, like, one at a time, teams would just TP players in until it was just 5v5 top. And then it would last so long that people would respawn and be like, well, I got to get back in the action. And you're watching it just like, I really don't think anyone is winning right now. They're literally just killing each other. But, oh, we've got a game. All right, we've resumed, and this is at the minute-and-a-half mark. So this actually looks pretty spot on, and it looks like this reload has worked appropriately here.
Yep, no crazy things to mess things up. Actually, an arrow down in bottom lane. A lot of damage heading the way of Skywrath, but can they actually finish him off? Riptide, the right clicks, the kill.
Yes, indeed. That will tie it up 1-1. Kuroki gets the first kill on the board for Team Secret. And there we go. Now our overlay packages are working again. Creeps didn't spawn at 1:30. Yeah, there are always some funky things. There are always some funky things that happen with the load, and I think the good rule of thumb is the earlier on in the game you load, the less buggy it is. So we're lucky that happened at the minute-and-a-half mark rather than the 30-and-a-half-minute mark.
Yeah. But, I remember some of the earlier Dota 2 reloads back when it was still in beta by far, and you got things like heroes dying for 300 seconds instead of 30, and you had trees that would never respawn because broodmother webs. It was a crazy time.
Yep, indeed. And oh man, now I'm having sync issues. What a bummer. What a bummer. Anyway, we just can't catch a break today, man. So anyhow, we've got where are these lanes? Let's reacquaint ourselves with what's happening in this game, as it's been a while. Kuroki's in the safe lane on the Clinks. Puppy has been roaming around on the Mirana. It's an S4 mid on the Puck. Big Daddy is on the support Naga, and that puts Simba, this is of course Fly, in the off lane playing on the Doombringer here. And has an early point in Devour, but actually hasn't picked up a creep yet. And will press back the Nature's Prophet, who is in the solo safe lane. Actually, a TP comes and gets canceled as well. A little bit of wasted gold there. Stress is on the solo mid Jakiro, and that puts us with an aggressive try for Team Cleave. Roger on the position 1 Razor, and he's got these two supports, Skywrath and Earthshaker, keeping him safe and sound.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty big TP, because the amount of gold that Skywrath is going to have this game is kind of limited. The Earthshaker is going to take precedence because of Blink Dagger, and the fact that he's not going to have as much at his disposal is pretty huge. So just a quick TP to try to help out in a 2v1 situation doesn't come through, and yeah, we just see right now Team Secret trying to take advantage of the jungle. The secondary pull that you would usually see is blocked off, but we will see some spells fly.
Yes, indeed. No Tail goes in towards the Skywrath. He'll take an arrow, but Roger's right there, draining a lot of damage from Big Daddy. He's got plus 56 right now. Kuro laying in the flaming arrows. And Puppy looking to pursue. Cleave will keep all three alive, rather, as will Secret. Both sides do a fair bit of damage, but neither can secure a kill. And they will just go back to farming. Both Razor and Clinks really not finding a lot of farm here in this bottom lane, as is often the case when it's a try-on-try type scenario. But both of them still in the single digits. It's really this top lane where they're winning out. Both the Doom and the Nature's Prophet grabbing a lot of last hits.
Yeah, and that's going to be nice for the Doom. He's going to be actually moving just a little bit more in Scorched Earth over Devour, but even still, he will be devouring pretty frequently and trying to make sure that he can build up a large arsenal behind him. Actually going for this Ring of Regen, it implies that he'll go for a Tranquil build. That would mean auras across the board. They'll go for Drum of Endurance, maybe AC or Vlad's long term, and just try to make sure that Clinks is the heavy hitter.
Yes, sir. And he will
Oh,
have to find a
mid.
little
Beautiful
more in the way of
arrow.
last hits for that. But, yeah, long range on Distress, and this should be a pretty easy kill. Even the Nature's Prophet TPing in, but he will cancel it as he realizes it is a moot point. Gets a dual breath off before he goes down, but Jakiro takes a tumble, and S4 now gets a little bit of space in the mid lane. And, wow, look at the CS. Puck 18 and 9. Missed a kill down in the bottom lane as I'm looking at that, but Jakiro with only 4 last hits. That's almost more important than this kill on Clinks. That is a huge disparity in the mid.
Yeah, especially since the Jakiro was involved in the first blood instead of being the first blood. That was a pretty big turn there. But oh my gosh, what a combo!
Oh,
They used the
wow.
Dream Arrow right when he TPs. S4 gets another kill with the same double damage rune.
Time to hibernate.
Oh my gosh, I caught all of that, and I'm speechless. This poor Jakiro. What do you do against that? I mean, that's one of those. All right, I'm just getting back to lane, and goddamn, I'm dead. Oh.
You don't click on the ground. You click on the tower so that you don't get arrowed in the face immediately is pretty much what you do. But he didn't know where the Mirana was. Didn't think about it. Puppy throws another fishing arrow. Can he find someone? Oh, so close. Could you imagine 3 kills in a row in that span of time? That would be insane.
Yeah. So Team Secret looked like they were off to a rocky start as S4 was the victim of the first. Oh no, Puppy was the victim of the first blood, but already they've come back with about an 1,800 gold and experience lead as they're getting the better of kind of all the lanes. The only one struggling a little bit is Kuro in this safe lane. As we mentioned, he did take a tumble. He does have a Keela and going towards a Soul Ring here, and his CS is a little lackluster. 15 compared to the 22 of Razor, but all things considered, it's even enough, and Team Secret are more than making up for it in the top and mid lanes. Even the support's doing pretty well both sides. The support experience is even as they work the jungle with that Cleave. Will smoke up and head towards the top lane. Simba, you could be in some trouble, buddy.
Yeah, there's no way he gets
5-hero
out.
rotation. Even Jakiro's coming from the mid lane.
They want
And
to
this
push
should be
after
a
this.
pretty easy kill on the Doom. Or is it? Does Fly really survive? Oh
insane.
my gosh. 5 heroes.
Dire's middle
And he
tower
lives.
is under attack.
That's
Blaze.
absolutely absurd. I don't know. Like, I can't believe my eyes in that sense. I mean, yes, he's level 7. He has Tranquil Boots, which gives him some armor, but I don't know. Scorched Earth on Holy Aura. He stays alive with massive HP regen, and he's here to counterpush. This is really absurd that they weren't able to kill with that many rotating, and now S4 is going to come in.
Yeah, he has a Dream Coil available, and there's a big rotation from Secret. They want to make the hold here. We'll zoom out to take a look at the positioning. Arrow flies through, does hit the Earthshaker in the face. S4 will be patient, burns the Dream Coil onto, orb out, and will take a silence straight away. Now Big Daddy coming in, gets caught by the Fissure that will break this fight up in half. Roger trying to pursue. There is a little gap here, but S4 completely stuck. Beautiful blocking from Roger, and Fairy Dragon will fall. It's a 1-0 the other way, and Team Secret do not handle this the way that they were hoping. They will keep the tower alive for now, and there are still 2 heroes farming in the mid and bottom, but
Yeah, I
not
don't
the
think that
exchange they
Death
were
is
looking
that
for.
bad, because although it is important to get the kill on the solo mid puck, right now Karaki is actually going to be able to bring down the bottom tier 1 as quickly as they're bringing down the top. And this is the push lineup. This is Jakiro, Nature's Prophet, trying to siege. But if they're trading
Dire's bottom
evenly,
tower is
even
under
at the cost of
attack.
a kill, I think that Secret are happy to be able to break open the map a little bit more. We're going to see maybe a deny come out as well. They will fortify it first, and yeah, it looks like there's going to be a full retreat from the side of Cleave.
Yep, Roger coming in looking for the deny, and it will get finished off by Puck, and Clinks gets the tower kill in the bottom lane. That alone is a huge victory for Secret. So as you mentioned, Puck falling and kind of breaking up that push momentum on the side of Cleave proves dividends for Team Secret. And even Puppy, he had a lot of time in the mid lane to rack up some last hits, and of course on the support Mirana, that is a rare opportunity. He still only has 9 to his belt, under his belt rather, but he is at least level 5 now, and that extra experience will certainly help him out. He does have a smoke ready to rock and roll when they decide they want to start ganking again. Glancing at the grass, Team Secret with a 4,000 gold and experience lead here, only 9 minutes in.
They are always wanting to gank, it seems. They might have to consider not picking up this double damage run. They'll still go for it, hoping the Dire don't have wards. And fortunately for them, they do not. So Nature's Prophet should be falling here one way or another. We'll see if the arrow connects directly or if they just use the Dream Coil to finish it off.
Yeah, just phase boots on Hakan right now. Does have his TP off cooldown. It just came back, but he will get silenced, will get orbed, and he will fall. Team Secret get another one up on the scoreboard. That makes it 4-3. Mid lane now, Cleave. They want to live up to their name and cleave down this tower. Stress does have 3 points in the Liquid Fire. He did opt to skip the Macro Pyre as well as the Ice Path. Dual Breath Liquid Fire build, and they'll do some chip damage to the tower, but they can't really commit to the push. Get it down to half health as Moonlight Shadow is deployed. and that alone seems to be enough for them to back out.
Yeah, just holding these towers for now is absolutely immense. Like I said, Jakiro's a hero that really you have to be able to utilize him appropriately, and I think they're doing a good job as far as their intentions. Bringing him solo mid, giving him the farm, getting Liquid Fire up, but the bottom line is that Secret are just responding too well for them to actually take full advantage of it. Like a normal team, they would be down at least 2, if not 3 or 4 towers right now, and Team Secret, they're rotating, they're responding, and they're applying pressure elsewhere to make sure that's not possible.
Double Midas for Team Secret. We saw Fly pick one up first, and now Kuroki will join the Midas Club. There is one on the Dire side, just on the Nature's Prophet. He went the phase boost first, did the standard trajectory there in terms of items. But Secret taking a page out of the Cloud9 book. When you're ahead, what do? Get a Midas and get even further ahead. Cleave will group up in the mid, and it looks like they will try to put some more pressure on this Tier 1 tower.
Yeah, but they have some good AoE clear between Puck and the Naga Siren. They're just going to be able to finish it off. Puppy lends in a Starfall as well. And yeah, these pushes really don't amount to much. Secret's always in the right place at the right time, and they're still farming across the map extremely efficiently. Kuraki gets to go ahead and use his ulti essentially off cooldown whenever he wants it because of Soul Ring. And of course, you already mentioned that Midas, which is applying some enhanced golden experience as well.
Yeah, and Cleave are just struggling to find these tower pushes. They keep wanting to commit towards this mid-tier 1, and they are chipping it down with the Liquid Fire, but still can't really commit to it, as Secret are very eager to mount a defense anytime the Dire group up. The big disparity is still that mid lane. Puck with 50 CS, only 19 on the Jakiro, and Stress just not getting what he was hoping for. Bottom lane, Kuroki, he overcommits, he'll get dusted, and he will fall. Nature's Prophet secures that kill as he goes in deep looking for the tower. We've got a hasted Simba. Watch out. He does have a Doom available as well as the pack leader's aura. He's starting to hit pretty hard, and even only with the Midas, he's still in fighting shape. He gets pinged out, but Stress could be in some big trouble here. If he gets doomed and hit by an arrow perhaps, or one or the other, could be a kill. Arrow flies through,
nice.
Does miss. Even a Dream Coil used for this. They'll doom the Jakiro. Gets off the dual breath. A nice fissure will help break it up. And S4 in some trouble again. Phase shift will not be able to jaunt to the orb. The Liquid Fire is enough to bring him down. And Stress will actually survive the duration of this doom. Nicely played by Cleave, and their response will repel Team Secret.
Yeah, really good TP rotations, just immediate. The second that they saw that dive coming through, they're like, okay, they're overextending, let's do something about it. And now they should actually be able to bring down this tier 1. We see a lot of illusions. The Riptide is actually at rank 3, so easier said than done, but they have a lot to bring to the table here. Puck's down for 10 seconds, the Dream Coil is gone, and they are just going to do what they can to bring it down.
Yeah. And with 4 points in the Liquid Fire, not only does it do a lot of damage to the tower, but lowering that attack speed is very significant. Makes it so much more difficult for that tower to do pretty much anything. He just has to sit there and take all that damage. I want to ask you about this Jakiro build, opting to skip Macro Pyre as well as Ice Path. The Macro Pyre we've seen skipped before, but the Ice Path is a little different. Any thoughts about the dual breath over Ice Path?
100% agree with it. The Ice Path is essentially just there to cancel TPs, which they already have the Earthshaker to do when they need to. He's got his Enchant Totem if it's not the Fisher to do it. So, yeah, I don't think the Ice Path is really going to change how they end up playing things. Either the Puck's silenced or he's not. Either the Clinks is hit by Dust and slowed up by Dual Breath, or he's getting away. So in this position, just getting the most out of Dual Breath, which scales extremely well, is going to be better for you cost-efficient-wise and as far as actually making a teamfight impact.
Does it scale that well? All you get is extra damage and extra.
The damage is really good though. Like 76 over 5 seconds is absurdly high.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So we will see a Song of the Siren setup here. Oh no, we've got two heroes isolated. Both Earthshaker and Jakiro will be in big trouble. Arrow flies through, hits the Earthshaker. Another Doom has come out and will be on the Jakiro. This time they secure the kill. Puck does get picked off in the mid lane though. As we watch that exchange, Roger will grab a kill on the Fairy Dragon, and I did not happen to see what happened in that exchange, but still Secret defend that tower and find a couple kills. Nice ultimate from Big Daddy.
Yeah, as for not fully on point with his Puck, maybe just a little bit of time where he's been practicing off lane and then going back to an old school pickup. That was enough time where he was forgetting his old tricks or whatever. But at least for now, S4 currently sitting at 2-3-1, a hero that generally survives through everything. But of course, you have to keep note that the Skywrath is starting to rank up that Ancient Seal. There's been at least 2 deaths guaranteed by that spell alone, and that has been causing him some real grief.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem for Cleave right now is even though they're finding okay exchanges, they're getting straight pickoffs here and there, Secret just have the superior farming tools. So all things equal, Secret will continue to pull ahead unless Cleave start knocking down more towers or just finding more cost-effective hero exchanges. Right now, Cleave will move into the Roche pit. However, it has been scattered out by the Radiant side. They've got a ward up on the high ground. Cleave know it. They have a sentry ward down, and they know that they've been scouted. The question is, will Secret try to contest? This is not the fastest Roche. They don't have a medallion, but they will still commit to it, and Secret are making movements towards the pit.
Yeah, they don't have Macropire here, which is pretty painful. If Puck gets a full initiation off, this is just going to be the death of every member of Cleave here. The Fisher could be good, though.
Moonlight Shadow deployed. They've got some sentries down to try and deal with it, but limited in their vision right now. Puck on the high ground, throws down an orb just to give the intel they need. He jaunts in. There's the Dream Coil on 3. Fisher will help break it up. Puck gets destroyed by the Mystic Flare to get things started, but Arrow hits Roger. That'll take the Razor out of the fight for a moment's time. Roche will still fall to the Dire. Aegis does get picked up by the Jakiro, and it's still successful for Cleave. Only a 1-for-1. Razor in exchange for the Puck, and Big Daddy will survive. So Cleave really come out ahead there.
This Skywrath is all over S4, just making sure that he can't do absolutely anything else. He still gets the combo off initially, but they don't let him leave with that. Puck is a hero that wants to go in and out, and they don't actually have a bunch of heroes that commit to a fight. Like, the Doom could stay in there for quite some time. Now he's got that Blink Dagger, but just the way the Earthshaker positioned that Fisher, essentially it was every man for himself. Puck goes in by himself, he helps, he does damage, but in the end they can't commit to it 100%, and the Roshan and the Aegis will go to Jakiro.
Dire's middle tower
Yes,
is under
sir,
attack.
they will. And that successful Roche will mean Jakiro has enough for the recipe for his mech and puts Cleave in better fighting form. There is still no mech on the Radiant side. Instead, they've gone triple Blink Dagger here. Puck, Clinks, as well as Doom all have Blink, which is good if they can get the initiation. But in a team fight like that, they don't really... That's a lot of value that isn't giving huge returns right now when you're talking about items like mech or drums or even that Maelstrom on the other side, which give you a really direct benefit in a big skirmish like that.
Yeah, Tier 1's certainly going to follow, but they're going to try to trade the Tier 2 in mid for it. No fortification for Cleave means a difficult defense with this next creep wave coming in. Still Sky will try to start it off, gets the silence off on Puck. The damage from the ulti is real, but it might not be enough. He'll be able to survive.
Yeah, Roger takes an arrow as soon as he TP's in, and he will fall. It's a 1-for-0 in the mid lane. The Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane has gone down, but Secret will continue to commit to this Tier 2 mid, and it looks like it should fall. So, not a bad trade for Secret as they come out ahead once again. Bottom lane, Big Daddy sets it up with the Song of the Siren. Stress will be the only one caught inside it, but Arrow connects. Only a 2-second stun, more than enough damage to bring him down. That will be the end of the Aegis. Pops his mech, and they should definitely be able to kill Stress a second time. Meanwhile, Hakan trying to TP home. Can S4 interrupt it? He has no cooldowns. Oh, no. But what? What? Is that... Why did he TP there? What was it?
Fails of the week right there. Oh, my God.
What was... I didn't even notice that he was TPing right there. I thought just for sure he was TPing back to safety. He would have lived.
I thought it was a visual bug. I swear I did. The only explanation I can have other than raw panic is quick casting. Sometimes you aren't used to having quick casting binds, and if you try to double tap it to teleport home like you used to, then you end up just teleporting where your cursor is and not really correcting that until it's too late. So that's the only way that could actually be a valid mistake, but otherwise it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that is... we may see that one in the Dota Cinema Fails of the Week. That was pretty good. Wow. 11-7, and Secret will continue to gain momentum here. About 12,000 gold, 11,000 experience or so. They will chuck an arrow towards the Razor. There it is, but will be off the mark. They're still eager to fight. A lot of sentries down for the Dire. They don't want to get caught off guard by the Moonlight Shadow, but they need to be a little bit careful here. A lot of momentum is going the way of the Radiant, and Siren has actually picked up a gem. So they have been clearing out observers, and Cleave will start to lose map control here. Up top, Dream Coil comes out onto the Skywrath. Does connect with a Mystic Flare onto Kuroki, but too little, too late. And Puck will find some vengeance as he finishes off the Skywrath Mage.
Yep, just they have really good range of initiation with all these Blink Daggers. Actually, I see Roger try to attempt something, but like they can just walk away. Puppy will not get stunned in time. Oh, he will, just barely. The Fisher came out. The ice path definitely would not have been in time, but the Fissure was there. So they will finish off Puppey, but even then, that's a support Mirana. And on the back end, they're actually going to go in.
Yep, and he throws out an Echo Slam just on fly. Now the follow-up damage, Puck doing a lot, but he's right in the middle of the fray. Will somehow make it out. Stress gets Doom. Roger stuck inside the net, will fall, and it's a complete cleanup. Cleave get cleaved down. Only the Mirana falls before that engagement started, and Secret just completely obliterate them.
Yeah, Simba going real man mode on that one, jumping with the BKB. He has absolutely nothing to fear against this lineup, and they were able to single out the heroes they needed to just steamroll all over that fight. Now the team as a whole is getting pretty big. I mean, you've got, like you mentioned, the Midases already kind of taking effect, and the early game weakness that this lineup might have had is being washed away by all this farm. I mean, Karaki's sitting on 3,800 gold and go for just about anything that he wants at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, right into a Daedalus wouldn't be bad. Something like an Orchid could go a long way. Yeah, a really good snowball item on Clinks. We're still early enough into the game that I think an Orchid could be okay and lock down some of those heroes. But you're right. Hard to guess what he wants to do. Anything that he desires can be his. Secret will continue with the aggression, pressing forward into the jungle. They will find this Nature's Prophet. Blink forward from Simba. No Doom available. Hits him with a level death. Arrow flies through, just barely off the mark. Scrapes his whiskers, but Furion will survive. Now the rest of Cleave pressing forward. Still no Macropyre on this Jakiro. He opted for that first point in Ice Path over Macropyre. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that Macropyre is actually pretty valuable in these clashes, but it's hard to really convince your opponent to stay in it for an extended period of time. Like, you have the Fissure lockdown, you have the slow from the concussive shot. Oh, an arrow going right into the Skywrath, and they will follow that up.
5-second stun. They pop a Moonlight Shadow. There is a sentry down, but Dream Coil on 3. Puppey presses forward. In comes Simba as well. Mystic Flare right onto Puppey. That's going to be enough to bring him down, but the follow-up is here. They've already lost their Skywrath as well as the Earthshaker. Now they're in full retreat mode. Roger with the Doom on. They go for the deny, but can't find it. Gems on the ground. Song of the Siren stops them dead in their tracks. They can't pick up the gem. They get silenced. Khan falls. Now it's just Stress, and, well, he's going to have to squeeze his Stress Ball as he gets picked off. Another 1 for 5. Puppey plays the role of the sacrificial lamb, and it's an even bigger net worth exchange as Secret grab a second gem. Look at No Tail. He's just rocking out with that blink. Double gems.
Yeah, S4 gets to go for Dagon, and the Clinks gets to go for the Daedalus, as you mentioned. So they are just kind of ramping up their farm insanely, and the only cost, like you mentioned, has been Puppey so far. He's perfectly happy with trading his life away for this much momentum, and they are absolutely in a position to take this game within 30 minutes time. So we'll see exactly what it takes to breach the high ground, if it is going to be the Roshan respawning in 1 to 4 minutes. But otherwise, yeah, we're going to be looking at Cleave needing to make something happen. They need to smoke up. They need to find a pickoff. They've been doing really well against the Clinks because he is so squishy. When his Death Pact is off, he doesn't have that much HP, and he certainly doesn't have a BKB. So that would probably be their best idea, is to start a fight by picking him off, but otherwise it's difficult to really pull forward.
Yeah, and speaking of fly this game, 5, 0, and 8 on the Doombringer. Very impressive showing so far. And it looks like now he'll just move into his shoes. Has himself the Mystic Staff already, and really not too far off the rest of the item. We will see Kuroki just cruising around in the mid lane here. Needs to be a little careful, but he'll go right on into Stress. And, oh, look at the crits. Just melting him down. Poor Jakiro. Nothing he could do. Didn't even get off a single spell. He just took a tumble. Oh, Arrow connects onto Skywrath. The Starstorm a little lackluster, but that's a Dagon on S4. It's level 2, and he says, "You kill me, Skywrath, I kill you with my Dagon." And that's enough. Gleef have been demoralized, and they will tap out. Is it a real GG? It looks like it might. There you go. Well, another pretty one-sided performance here. Team Secret, they were off to that rocky start as they conceded the first blood, but they were right there with the response and just found better farm around lanes, better movements, and all in all, just better team fights. I want to ask you, though, Blaze, do you think this game would have been a little different had the Jakiro-Puck matchup been a little more even? We noted early on that Jakiro just got completely wrecked in last hits, maybe a little outskilled by S4. If that was a more even matchup, do you think that would have made a difference for Cleave?
I still think that Jakiro got what he needed, which was the higher points in Liquid Breath to transition into the 4-man and 5-man Dota Death Ball. I don't think that these 1 versus 1 made as much of an impact as how well Team Secret responded to the direct movement of Cleave, where they were actually trying to brute force the towers. So obviously it would have helped. Everything helps in Dota, but Jakiro really wouldn't have been able to transition into any major items that would have dramatically changed the game. He probably maybe goes Force Staff or Veil of Discord and just tries to make the most of team fights. I really think it just came down to general game sense and responding to the push and making sure that they kept their towers alive. That made more of an impact than S4's domination in the mid lane.
All right, well, that'll do it for our second game of the day, guys. We've got 2 more coming up, and again, it will be a decent break, as that was another quick one. Na'Vi versus KPG, scheduled to start in just about 30 minutes.